you're able to get what you want to get out of your body, your health, performance, all that stuff. Excited to dive into the late night snacking conundrum today. I think that's one of the things that throw a lot of us off. Those meals that we have, or those foods that we eat during the night in that kind of purgatory period where you don't really have anything going on. A lot of times those things really throw us off. So I'm excited to dive into that. First off, if you're here live, please let me know that you're here. Comment below how the day is going. And if you're watching on the replay, remember to comment hashtag replay down below. Let me know what you got going on. Let me know that you're here watching and that you're trying to get better. You're trying to better and master your health. Give everybody just a second to click on, and then also give myself a second to make sure that we are properly streaming. Always got to check that. I think we are. Yeah, I think we're good. So the simple habit that stops mindless snacking at night. So I want you to be honest. How many times have you ended the day saying, I ate pretty well, I ate what I was supposed to eat, I ate a great breakfast, a great lunch, a great dinner, and then the end of the night gets there, and all of a sudden you're a little bit hungry still because you're maybe trying to drop body fat. So unfortunately, that's a part of the process that you're going to feel kind of a slight dull hunger, and you feel that, and you decide to go into the pantry and grab you something real quick, or go into the fridge and grab you something real quick, and then all of a sudden you are inhaling food. It's like you cannot stop yourself. Like you just keep going back and keep going back, or you say, "Oh, I'm only going to get a bite of this, or a little bit of this, or whatever," and you just end up getting more and more and more and more. And before you know it, you've completely blown through that good day that you put together over maybe 16 hours that you have been awake previously. Um, you had that experience before, please let me know down in the comments to say I have, or I've experienced that. Because I know that it's extremely common for clients that we work with, for people that I talk to, for friends, family, everyone that I talk to kind of has that period near the end of the night where it's typically a struggle to stay disciplined. And I think it's one of the biggest reasons that people are held back, because the vast majority of people, especially like if you even thought to click into a video like this, chances are you eat pretty well at least one meal a day. Like you probably have one healthy meal a day. More than likely, what it is a single meal, or a single, or a few different like little snacks here and there throughout the course of your day that are throwing you off, that you're not disciplined with. But chances are you're not eating terribly every single meal every single day. It's just a few things. So also, I want to know, what's your go-to nighttime snack? A lot of people are more like salty people. Like, you want the salty, the crunch, like maybe something like chips or something like that. Others are sweet, like you want a cookie, a slice of cake, something along those lines. Others are drinkers. Maybe you want a soda, maybe you want some alcohol, maybe you want some sort of juice or something like that. Like everybody has their thing, or has had their thing in the past, if it's something that you've overcome. So I want you to let me know what it is for you specifically. For me, typically when I get the craving, it's typically always something sweet. It's always the craving for something sweet. And I've had to work really hard over the years to not indulge in that craving. Now it's not nearly as bad as it used to be because I don't indulge in it every night. But our bodies are creatures of habit. If you get yourself a little sweet snacky snack at the end of every night after your dinner, then guess what your body's gonna want 24 hours later, and then 24 hours later, and then 24 hours later. So that's why it's so important to understand what your habits are. Like, I'm not just asking these questions so that you comment real quick. I'm asking so that you have an understanding of what your habits are and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And also, going into that, why That's the biggest and most important thing, is that having that understanding and having that knowledge. So there are going to be three kind of key causes and key things that kind of lead to that late night snacking, that snacking at night. We got your physiology, like literally your body's physical response to, these cravings, or why it has a physical response to these cravings, whether that be blood sugar dips that a lot of times often happen because of low energy, maybe not having enough food throughout the day, needing to go to bed. That's a huge one. A lot of times when you have these cravings late at night, the reason you have them is because you should have just gotten to bed 30 minutes ago, 60 minutes ago. You should currently be asleep, but the fact that you're not, your body's trying to get some quick energy real quick. And that's why blood sugar dips, it causes you to want to go get a high sugar, high fat food that will immediately spike that blood sugar back up and kind of wake you up a little bit. And then also just due to not eating protein earlier in the day, a lot of times if you get to the end of the night and you're still really hungry, you didn't get a lot of protein in the day, you didn't get a lot of fiber on the day. You get to the end of the night, you're hungry, and now your body craves something quick and fast. It's craving a quick 500 calories because it's so hungry. And that's what happens when you don't have that consistency in your nutrition, that consistency in your meals, like you're supposed to have. And then also is going to be psychology. So a lot of times we want rewards at the end of the night. It's been a long day. You had a stressful day at work. You had to fire somebody. Your kid was sick. Whatever the case may be. Like a lot of times we want these rewards near the end of the night because they make us feel better. They make us feel like, we finally get to relax. We finally get to take the edge off. And that's typically why we indulge in all of our indulgences, whatever that indulgence may be. The indulgences might or typically happen at night because there's typically not a lot going on. The world gets kind of quiet. Everybody's kind of still. Most likely, especially when it comes to work, most likely everybody's gone home. Nobody's really calling on you or emailing you or anything like that. You kind of get to relax and you get to enjoy some of your vices and some of your indulgences. A lot of times, late night snacks are those. And then the last thing is environment. A lot of times, it's just simply that these foods are within reach. These things are within reach, which is a huge thing. And it's something that we tell all our clients, like, hey, we want to get the snack foods out of the house. We want to get the high temptation foods out of the house. We want to get the hyper palatable foods out of the house because it's going to be so easy for you to just lean into those foods, go grab those foods real quick, and before you know it, you're throwing it back and throwing it back and throwing it back. And you realize that, oh, I've just consumed like 800 calories of whatever this is. And, a few minutes. And I still got some in there. So I already did that. And I still got to discipline myself. And a lot of times when you're facing that situation, most people are just going to say, well, you know what? I already derailed myself this bad. I might as well keep going. And that's how you get that one step forward, two steps back in your health. That makes it way harder for you to get to where you want to be because you're facing that constant temptation due to the environment of you're laying on a couch and the kitchen is right across the hall. Or you're, sitting around chilling. Maybe you go out with friends, whatever, and you're looking at this menu, and it's got these, low quality foods or desserts or whatever it is that's causing you to, after you have your dinner, have that craving for something else. So it's really important to understand like what's catching you up most. Is it the physiological aspect? Are you feeling very hungry and low energy at the end of the night? Is it psychological? Are you stressed every single day and getting that indulgence, getting that late night snack, does it feel like a breath of fresh air for you? Because chances are you're using it as a crutch for the high stress levels that you're having throughout the day. And then environment. Do you have an environment? Are you in environments near the end of the night where it's easy for you to lean into these indulgences? Which one of those do you feel like is the biggest thing for you? Say, or you can just type one, two, three. One is physiology, the physical aspect. Two is the mental aspect. And then three is the environment aspect. Which one do you feel like has been your biggest struggle personally? Now that we got all of that out of the way, why exactly these cravings happen, where they come from. I want you to implement this one thing. This is something that we do with every single client that comes in that we're working with them in their nutrition. And the most effective habit that I've seen over almost a decade as a nutrition coach is that you want to create a post dinner ritual for yourself that signifies physiologically, psychologically, and environmentally that the kitchen is closed. This could be brushing your teeth right after dinner. This could be having some herbal tea, maybe an hour after dinner, but maybe, an hour or so before bed. Taking a walk directly after, cleaning, washing dishes, putting everything up, turning the lights off in the kitchen. So, like, you touch on the physiological, you touch on the psychological, and you touch on the environmental all at one time. And like, this is how habit formation happens. Like, we need multiple different angles. You need multiple different kind of perspectives or touch points in order to get rid of one habit and then instill another one. And that's why you want to have those different opportunities to, like, okay, mentally, I understand that I'm done eating. Physiologically, I'm, getting something, I'm sipping some tea or whatever it is. So I don't have that physiological urge to go eat something. And then environmentally, I put up everything and I turn the lights off. That is my environmental cue to stop consuming food. So that's how you want to approach that from multiple angles, having those things in place in order to help you mitigate those cravings that are throwing you off every single day. So, my advice to you, my best advice to you, is to pick one of each. Physiological, basically, figure out something that you can get some mouthfeel with, like tea. Maybe you sip on some like infused water. Um, Maybe it's something where you have the ability to consume something, but it's, 0 calorie, it's good for you, it's actually going to mitigate cravings, and then you want that psychological, so you want something that kind of signifies to yourself that you're done eating. I love a walk directly after dinner, but that could also be like a stretch after you get out of the shower. It could be anything from moisturizing. It could be it's going to be different for everybody based on like what your routine currently is, what you like to do. But basically, you want those different kind of instances where you're telling yourself that you're done consuming food for the day. And then environment. I think the by far the best environment one is to A, not have the junk food in the house, and then B, uh, close down the kitchen. Literally, clean it, mop it, sweep it, wash the dishes, light a candle, turn the light off, and then like you're done. And I think that's the best approach and the best way to go about it. So, also make sure that you get a high quality dinner in, like where you're getting, you know, 30 to 50 grams of protein, maybe 10 to 15 grams of fiber, some high quality carbs in there, some high quality fats in there. Really get something that's going to sustain you through the night so that you're not even thinking about food. That's probably the biggest one out of all of this is like you want to eat every meal in a way where you're not thinking about food for 4 or 5 hours at a time. Like you should be able to eat breakfast and then for 4 or 5 hours not think about eating again. Eat lunch, 4 or 5 hours, don't think about eating again. Eat dinner, 4 or 5 hours without thinking about eating again. And like if you can do this, now you don't have to do any of this stuff because you are satiated, you've got nutrients in your body, you're eating the right things, and it's so much easier to stay consistent. So that's it. That's all. It is not about willpower. It's not about discipline. It's about understanding your psychology, your physiology, your environmental factors, and then making it as easy as possible to do what you need to do to get your body and health to where you need it to be. So my challenge for you is to create your ritual and execute on it tonight. So I want you to let me know down in the comments, like what are you planning to do? What has been holding you up the most? And what do you personally feel would be the biggest needle mover in helping you kind of mitigate this late night snacking? And obviously, if you're a client of mine and this is something that you've been struggling with, shoot me a message, let me know, and we'll work together to make sure that we overcome that. And if you're not a client of mine, but you want accountability, you want a system and a strategy that helps you strip off body fat, build lean muscle, and get healthier than ever without eating foods you hate, living in the gym all day, I'd love to help you do that as well. So you can click the link somewhere around here, take our transformation quiz, and we'd be happy to help you put together a game plan that makes that happen. So that's it. That's all. Please let me know your number one takeaway down in the comments. Share this to your LinkedIn feed. Share it with a colleague, with a friend that maybe has this issue or that you think might find this valuable. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.